Yes, so my name is Henrik Madsen, so I'm the Group CEO of the DNV GL Group. So we are actually a very old organization, 150 years old. And so we are engaged in shipping, in oil and gas, renewables, management systems, but sustainability is the core theme for everything we do. First of all, I'd like to get a better understanding of what's happening in India, and maybe also try to disseminate some of the ideas that we have, which could also help India. If we look at the energy sector, so we are very engaged in trying to disseminate renewable energy. So we make standards and technology development qualifications on wind and solar, but also on the grid side to transfer electricity, smart grids, energy efficiency. So I'd say on the energy sector we are very active. Doesn't mean that we don't work in oil and gas, but our focus is very much towards renewables. Yeah.
So what is your opinion about sustainable development education?
I think, of course, education and knowledge is really a key. Unfortunately, in today's world, it's not only transparent, but really it is competence and knowledge, it spreads so fast. So I think and if we look at maybe also on the business side, I think now most business leaders understand the threat of climate change. They understand they have to do something. Also, most business leaders understand that we are, say, overspending the resources of the earth. The earth cannot regenerate what we use. Biodiversity will become very important. Maybe half the world's species will die in some decades. I think the level of education is growing everywhere. But of course, it's very important that the young people, those who will inherit the earth, that they get well educated. And fortunately, they have so many sources, not just in their schools, but from the net, from their friends, and so on. So they do share knowledge in a quite different way than I did maybe when I was young.
What is the target in your organization?
Yeah, so actually, our organization is a foundation, and the purpose of the foundation is to safeguard life, property, and the environment. So this has been our purpose for 150 years. So you can say our forefathers were really looking well ahead. Yeah. So of course we work a lot on safety at sea, but more and more the environmental side and the sustainability side is coming in focus.
Where are you based? Where is your base, and where are your projects?
Yeah. So our headquarters is in Oslo in Norway, but we are in 100 countries. So we have 16,000 employees spread all over the world. So I think we are, at least for a Norwegian company, we are probably the most international Norwegian company. So we really see the world as where we should try to make a difference.
The most successful project that you can tell to?
I would say that one area where we have been very successful, I think, is defining standards for how to design and build and operating offshore wind. So that is one important one, because you need the standards to get the technology out. Another, if I can mention two, another one is to set standards for switching the fuel for ships from oil products to natural gas. Because we believe ships in the future should run on gas, not on oil, because of all the local pollution it creates, and also because you'll have a lower CO2 emission and actually a better working environment on board the ships. But then you need standards for how to build and how to operate the ships, and also how to bunker the ships with the natural gas. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have a little bit of a chicken and egg situation. Those, for instance, you want to introduce, let's say, natural gas as a new fuel, but then you need the infrastructure so you can actually provide the fuel. And what comes first? So that is one challenge sometimes. Another challenge can be that those who maybe benefit from certain actions are not the same as those who invest in it. So if we want to build a green building, zero energy building, so those maybe who benefit from that will be the tenants, not the builder. So sometimes you have to get the balance right so that it becomes a win-win for everyone. On sustainable cities and smart cities, so we believe we can contribute with qualifying new technology, maybe certifying that the buildings are actually, say, energy neutral, help to integrate, say, local solar energy onto a microgrid. The whole area around smart grid, how we combine the physical electrical grid with the internet, I think, are areas where we have lots of ideas how to make each individual household also an energy producer, not just consume, and help them to save money in that respect.
Excellent.
Yeah. I would also say on sustainable cities, smart cities, a big task is to clean the water. And we'll have a water stress in many parts of the world. And at least for the large cities on the coast, we would advocate solutions where you build the sewage plants on a ship offshore, because then it can be done much faster. You can bring in the technology from all parts of the world, and you are not sort of hampered by getting permissions. There's a lack of land. So in our company, we like to do things in the ocean. The more things we can move in the ocean, we think the better, because we have an abundant space, and it's a resource we really need to look at for many different uses. We know that we have many risks related to the environment as we move forward, but I would encourage everyone also to look at the opportunities that each of these risks can create. And for that, we need education, and we need innovation, we need good ideas. But I'm sure that by turning these risks into opportunities, that there will be so many business opportunities also for young people to create new businesses and to help to drive the development of the world into a sustainable development. But then we need good education around the environment, and then I'm sure the creativity of at least not least the young people can really make a big difference. I believe that we as a society and as citizens to a large extent have the opportunity to create our own future. We don't need to follow what was in the past. Of course, we have a starting point, but we have a big span in which we can create the future. And we have to live in harmony with nature. So I believe it's an obligation for all of us to choose a good future for ourselves, but a good future also for the environment. And the technology is there that we can live in this harmony. So it's just to understand the technology, get excited, and really challenge the young people to go in that direction. So from personal experience, so my son asked me, what should I study? So I said, I think you should study water management. So now I'm a proud father of an engineer working on water management. And I think there are many other fathers like me who really like their children to move in that direction.